In a dimly lit Lagos bedroom, Paul, a young man in his early 30s, sits shirtless at the edge of the bed, his face buried in his palms, crying silently. Laid behind him in a nightgown and headscarf on the bed, was his wife, Darlene, a young woman, clutching her stomach, pretended to be asleep with tears flowing her face. In a corner is a blue baby cot full of baby clothes and items they had bought over the years. He prayed, "Give us a child, Lord, even if it costs us everything." But he didn't know. God was listening to him and also, to his wife's ceaseless cries. They both asked. They both believed. And they both sacrificed, without knowing it. This is not just a story about faith, but a story about what happens when you ask with fear instead of trusting God without condition. Inside their cute and tastefully furnished living room in Lekki, Paul, a successful businessman in a cute shirt and tie, is on his way to the office. Staring joyfully at his wife, who steps out of the bedroom in an elegant gown, holding their month-old baby in a joyous mood. They stare at each other in silence. Admiration for their bundle of joy, happiness, and at last, life is good. Business is booming, and this answered prayer they finally received. Paul said to his wife, "After 5 long years of tears and fasting, our miracle finally came," and his wife responded, "Honey, I'm finally a mother." But neither of them knew that they had unintentionally exchanged for it. Few months later, Paul loses his job and Darlene's boutique burns in a market fire. On the table are bills of unpaid receipts. Their world crashes around them like a pile of cards, and they moved into a one-room apartment. They cradle their baby in a single-room apartment, but there's pure love and contentment. They had nothing left but each other and their one child. But behind those smiles, something was broken. Thinking back, Paul remembered he prayed and said, "God, give us a child, even if it costs everything." Unknown to him, Darlene too had tearfully prayed and said, "Even if we become poor, please just give me one baby, just don't let my husband marry another woman." Both said it separately. Both meant it, and heaven obeyed. They didn't bargain with each other, but they bargained with God. Paul watches his friends in fancy cars as they drove by, living the life he lost. He holds his child and smiles painfully. Darlene now sells small chops at a bus stop near their house. But every night in their room, they sit together and pray, no longer asking for anything, just grateful for life and their baby. Paul kisses his sleeping child. He remembered he had prayed for the child at the expense of every other thing. He just sighed without a word. Darlene smiled back at him, thought to herself, "Maybe I brought this situation upon us. Henceforth, I'll just trust God without conditions," as she whispers to her husband, "I know this phase too shall also pass."